Okay, welcome back. This is Mark Stump, December 2000 something or other. 14. I'm pretty sure. I'd just like to talk about a quick repair job that I performed on my Speedlight here, my Nikon SB-700. This sells for over $300, and I believe that my girlfriend paid closer to $400 for it when she bought it several years ago. So this is the case it comes in. We don't need to look at that. What else do I want to say about this? This is what I owned it for several years, and I like it, but part of the door broke. So here, and of course the stand isn't exactly part of it, but anyway. You can see, I think, where I've made a repair. And I don't make many claims for this repair. I claim that I'm happy with it. That's about it. I don't know that it's the absolute best way to go, but it's what I did and what I'm happy with. So let me show you, if I can. This is how this door works. The portion of the door that actually holds itself in place is, I think, not the part that broke. I think there's a sort of a square piece here that moves, and that square piece plus the attachment points in the body are what you need to hold the batteries in. But perhaps by pushing, maybe, there's a little button here that I have to push now. I don't know how this broke. I think maybe I pushed on it with my thumb while I was closing it. It was pretty thin and it broke pretty easily. Now, what did I do? Well, the first time I used this cement to fix the brake, and let me show you what that brake looked like. It was a crack from about here to here. I don't know what shape that is, but the first time I used this, and I wanted to reinforce it. The first time I wanted to reinforce it, but I didn't find anything around the house that I thought was suitable. I couldn't find my my medical tape, which I thought might work. So after, let me see, the cement all by itself worked well enough as long as it just sat on the shelf and I didn't use it. When I actually used it, it broke again. And part of that break, this portion of the brake is common to both the first and the second brakes. But the second time, rather than go from here to here, it went straight down like this. So some portion of it was common to both brakes, and then there's a brand new portion where, rather than brake along the old lines, it chose to create a new brake. The second time I used this, then by the way, I found my medical tape. Then I got a razor blade out, and I applied the medical tape and trimmed it with the razor blade. And because the tape is white and the flash is black, I used this large black Sharpie. And I'm happy with the way it looks. If I hadn't pointed it out to you, well, how many people would notice? I don't know. Probably when I'm using my camera, no one really notices. Now, I left the inside somewhat less attractive, partly because it's, because it's the inside, and partly to show you. So we can look at that. I wanted to reinforce it both inside and out. So let me take this off. So I hope you can see that there. You can see where I have a thin piece of tape, and I used a Q-tip. I didn't mention that before, but I used a Q-tip to apply cement to the outside of the tape, to more or less soak the tape in that epoxy cement. And that's what I call reinforcing. I didn't bother to paint this black because it's the inside. So there it is. There's a repair that has held up. It held up through a Christmas party. Ooh. And see if it held up through that drop, then, you know, I could say it held up there. Yeah, I think it did. So I think this is pretty strong. Anyway, there it is. I think I'm all done here. So I don't know if your flash will ever break the way mine did. I hope it doesn't. And I don't know that this is the absolute best way to go. I actually looked for the part on Nikon, Nikon's website, and I didn't see it. But this is a fairly inexpensive, fairly quick repair that I believe I'm happy with. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.